I'm Fidel Nemenzo. I'm a full professor of mathematics. So I serve as Chancellor from 2020 to 2023.
My name is Victor Paz. I'm a professor of archaeology, Professor 11 at the School of Archaeology.
Good morning. I'm Carlo Vistan. I'm the Dean of the UP College of Law.
First of all, we need to do all efforts to get rid of contractualization. It's bad for employees, it's bad for the university. I think it's in the long-term interest of the university and the staff, faculty, and students that we have employees that belong to the university, enjoying the full set of privileges and benefits. As to contractual workers who had delayed salaries, this is also a source of frustration for me. I know that there are a lot of constraints, and this past 3 years, we've been doing our best to identify the bottlenecks and find solutions for this.
My view of this question, I think I can take it in two levels. Now, first, the question of delayed wages, and that can be addressed with better efficiency in bureaucratic workings of the university. But more importantly is the question of contractualization. Well, first, we can get more UP contractuals rather than non-UP contractuals. And second, and more long-lasting, we should get more items for support staff.
Isang bala ko talagang tuunan ng pansin ay yung pagpapaikli ng mga proseso, no, at pagpapaaga ng mga preparasyon ng mga pasweldo at iba pang bayarin sa ating mga contractual employees. Matagal ng problema yan, nararamdaman namin yan sa kolehiyo. At ang solusyon tingin ko ay pag-aralan ang ating mga proseso, kontian at iklian ang mga to, at mas maaga paghandaan o i-prepare ang mga kailangang requisitos para mabayaran kaagad ang mga contractual employees. About the hazard pay, we really have to, and other benefits, no? We really have to clamor and work with the UP system to increase these benefits kasi hindi lang to nasa ating kamay.
The informal settler families are part of our community. They provide services, they provide housing for I know that a lot of our employees and our students actually live as boarders in these areas. So they're part of the community. At the same time, I've always also asserted that UP land is to serve our mandate as an educational institution. So this is a balancing act. We need to find solutions to the housing problem by coordinating with the LGU and the barangay, because we need to ensure housing for everyone in this area. But at the same time, of course, we also need to provide housing for our employees and students.
No, that's a difficult problem, given that I'm in for the concept of space and space making. But let's be clear. Informal settlers are, like all of us, we don't have any rights to be in this space forever. Now, in terms of access to basic facilities and services, that must be in coordination with the barangay. And any development within the campus really must be managed well, be it informal or not. And so, at the end, the long term is to resettle informal settlers in better places outside the university.
The problem with respect to our informal settlers needs long-term solutions that focus on compassion and equity. Our informal settlers must be made to realize na hindi pwede sila na magtagal talaga in the long term. So we must work on, first, giving them a time period to find possible relocation sites. We can help them with that, whether they're employees or not. But in the meantime, we will give them a period where they will work on this, where they can be integrated into our community, so they can earn wages and income in the meantime.
marami sa atin ay naging bahagi ng kanilang karanasan bilang estudyante. Also faculty, kumain ng fish balls, kwek-kwek, etc. No? Kaya ayaw kung mawala ang mga manininda, kailangan lang ma-regulate sila para hindi masyadong dumami dahil kapag dumadami sila, competition din para sa kanila. Nire-regulate din sila para panatiliing maayos ang safety at food safety. Ang bagong shopping center, kailangan natin siguraduhin na manatili siyang isang service-oriented center. No? It should not be income generating.
The build, operate, transfer agreement with UP Food, Good Food, is different from Diliman. And in Diliman, of course, we like to think it is for the service of the community, and it has a different business ethos. The maninindas, on the other hand, are always welcome to get stalls within Diliman, but by nature, they're small-scale entrepreneurs. I support the existence of the maninindas as a parallel source of food services for our community.
So to solve the plight, or to help the plight of our maninindas in relation to the upcoming or the new shopping center, or Dilimol as they call it, we must work with the UP system and the third-party leasing agent that I heard they got, to ensure that some of the spaces there will be given to our maninindas and other food providers and service providers who are based in our community. Beyond that, however, I think we should be looking beyond the Dilimol or the shopping center and looking for feasible sites, so various feasible sites where they can be located.
I actually like it. The student athletes are speaking out. No? I was also a student athlete, and I know the conditions under which they study and they train. No? And it's about time that UP really gives them the support that they deserve. No? This is why UP approved the creation of an office called the Office for Athletics and Sports Development. 2015 pa to. Pero ngayon lang natin implement, medyo naantala rin dahil sa pandemya. No? The purpose of the office really is to create a comprehensive program of support and institutionalize the mechanisms and support.
We do, of course, want to support all types of varsity athletics, from basketball to chess. And what is important is that they know this. And the fundamental thing that we can do as an administrator is to support the College of Human Kinetics in supporting the varsity program. And on top of it, the new office that supports the varsity program across the board, which then draws a lot of our alumni who are now bringing in a lot of resources to support the varsity.
To improve the condition and plight, and of course the performance of all our athletes, we need to talk to them, find out what their needs are, what their complaints are. And then we have to centralize all our efforts in one office. We have to assign people, assign a fixed set of people who will take care of this, work with our alumni. And we should deliver a clear message to our alumni and the community that this office and UP Diliman, and perhaps even the whole university, is here for all our athletes, not only the famous teams or sports, but all athletes.
Ang proseso kasi ng pagpipili ng mga security agency dumadaan sa bidding. No? In a sense, parang may built-in constraints tayo. Ito yung procurement law. No? Dumadaan tayo sa bidding. No? Tingin ko maiiwasan ang nangyari last year, no? Kapag mayroong isang masinop, no? na review ng terms of reference. No? Natututo tayo sa bawat karanasan with security agencies. No? We will undergo a more thorough review of the terms of contract and reference with security agencies, and we will be very strict with the implementation of these terms. Last year, I actually terminated the security agency. because of its violation of the terms of contract.
At one level, we must learn the right lessons in contract signing. And so the oversights that we had in the last contract must not be repeated. More importantly is the vigilance of different sectors of our community, and that is the best guarantee that things like this don't happen again in the future. If everyone's vigilant, then we will be aware that there's a problem even before the problem explodes.
So for our frontline workers, no, many of which or karamihan ay contractuals, kailangan natin siguraduhin by also consulting again with them, no, what they want, what they need, and the benchmarking against the competitive rates in other institutions. And then put this, no, in a very firm and clear terms of reference before we bid out their contracts. Isa pang kailangan asikasuhin dito ay siguraduhin na kung sino man ang mananalo sa mga kontrata na to ay susunod, no, at may kakayahang sumunod sa mga terms na isiset natin. Kung pwede rin na maging permanente sila, ay gagawin natin yun.
I really want our university to invest in CCTVs, no, because it helps us monitor the security situation. I want a stronger UP police force. Hindi to contractual, but really a police force. In fact, I will call it a UP community police force, who will ensure not only the safety and security, physical security of the community, but also defend the ideals of the community like academic freedom. But the best safeguard against all these threats is really a vigilant UP community. So I want the community organized. We need to conduct a community summit on security.
The more quick response to this kind of problem would be to increase the visibility of the SSB, to put in strategic places high-resolution CCTVs, to improve the lighting of dark places in the campus, and more importantly, to get the cooperation of the UP Barangay and the UP community to vigilantly look out for each other inside the community and outside.
Una sa lahat, kailangan natin maisaayos, no, yung sitwasyon ng ating mga security guards. At damihan pa kung maaari, no, at gawing mas visible ang ating mga police. Pareho na rin ang mga security guards. Nabanggit sa tanong, no, na 6 months ang binibilang nung pag-increase sa mga insidente. Nagtutugma ito sa panahon na hindi na naka-uniforme, no, yung mga security guards natin dahil may problema sa kanilang kontrata o sa ating nakuhang contractor. Tingin ko kailangan maayos yon para makasuot na sila ng appropriate uniform. Yun naman ay magiging panakot, no, sa mga gustong mangharas at gumawa ng kasamaan dito sa ating campus.
May mga kotseng dumadaan lang, may mga kotse na siyempre, pagmamayari ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. At meron naman mga kaibigan ng miyembro ng komunidad. At marami na ng mga business establishments. Lahat sila pumapasok dito. All of them feel entitled to entry in the university. You know? So we really need to think hard about this, no? Because this is not a simple problem of restricting entry into the campus. No? But we will need to look at the data and come out with a multidisciplinary look at the problem of campus transport and traffic.
So this is a very important question in managing the campus because it is our common space and it's a public space. And I think it can be addressed by having centralized parking areas, investing in it, connected by e-transport that shuttles students and guests from those central parking areas into public spaces or buildings, academic buildings of the university. Second is that we must have better traffic management. Simply put, open more portals. Make sure that there's more than one portal open at any given time. And then third is to have more public bicycle access for students and members of the community.
So one of the solutions I think that are achievable is decreasing the dependence of our community on the use of private vehicles within the campus. Yung pagpunta sa campus, medyo mahirap nang i-address yon. Pero yung paggamit ng sasakyan within the campus can be addressed by increasing multi-level parking in key locations within the university, putting them, spacing them out appropriately so people can park and then walk short distances to the places where they will go to. We should also increase yung public utility vehicles inside the campus and maybe even sponsor some of these public utility vehicles and make arrangements with the drivers or operators on how they can use this and maybe even own this eventually.
This is why I am strongly for upholding the existing agreements between UP and DILG. In fact, I want this not only upheld, I also want this strengthened. Kailangan natin ibalik ang kasunduan sa pagitan ng UP at ng DND. In fact, we should institutionalize this so that these safeguards for the protection of academic freedom are enjoyed not only by people from UP but by all SUCs. No? As I said, we need a vigilant UP community. We need to be uncompromising in our defense of the freedom of speech in our campus, because this is very important for the type of UP education that we value.
We are lucky that it's ingrained or really placed in its center in the UP Charter to protect academic freedom. An administration of UP Diliman must see itself as the manager of contesting ideas, of contesting ideologies. We must allow all types of persuasions to express their ideological or their political views. If you are against it, if I'm against it, that's one thing. But if you really don't like the other view, then do a counter protest or do a counterpoint. But definitely we will not curtail any ideological views in campus.
Una sa lahat, kailangan sabihin natin sa komunidad, no, we should deliver a clear message na we are a campus where academic freedom and all basic freedoms will be respected, especially the freedom to express oneself and to assemble, no, and to air grievances. Ayan naman ay nasa saligang batas at ang aking karakter ay ako'y napaka-liberal, no? Hindi ako repressive na tao. I always allow our students to express themselves, our community members to express themselves. Yun ay kailangan mapahatid. At the same time, we must be able to secure those activities. No? We must be able to protect those who will undertake such activities, at the same time address any red tagging incidents that may arise because of them.
Because we are a national university, no, we do have our responsibility, no, as a government institution to contribute to nation building. No. Medyo kakaiba itong history ng UP. No. We have a history of resistance. At the same time, we have a history of cooperation, no, because we are part of government. In fact, a lot of government officials come from UP. It's part of our responsibility to help government craft good pro-people, progressive policies, no, to advance the economy, advance the living conditions of our people. No. But it is also our responsibility to act as a social critic. No. We call out government if there are excesses, if there are things being done wrong in government. No.
One must distinguish the persona of an individual from its private and its public form. As a private individual, I am very clear of my protest and my dissent against what happened in Philippine history, against authoritarianism, against the old Marcos regime, and against the ills of Philippine society. As an administrator of this university, I must think of the entire system, the UP system, and the entire campus. I do not represent myself anymore, but represent a larger community. And therefore, that it means that in each case, we must really think carefully of our position concerning the current administration.
I believe, when I become Chancellor, we will work with the government like it's any other government. UP is here as the national university to serve the people. The government is also there to serve the people. So if what the government wants to happen or its agenda will serve the best interests of the people, of the majority, especially the poor and underprivileged, then we will work with them. But at the same time, UP will not, or UP Diliman, I hope the whole university will not lose its role as a critic of government. But this criticism should be delivered in an atmosphere of constructive dialogue for the best interests of our people.
I actually like President Jimenez's vision for UP. His vision of academic excellence, his vision of public service, his vision for digital transformation and learning-centered education. There's really a lot of areas where UP Diliman and the UP system can work. The UP system is in charge of general policies and directions. But they do not do this alone. They also do this in consultation with the different CUs.
That's an easy question to answer because from the get-go, I saw that the direction of UP Diliman must not veer away from the system's vision. And the system's vision is to make UP a world-class, a university for the Filipino people. As long as the system also is loyal to this vision, I don't think there's going to be any problem between Diliman and the system.
I think that it is essential for the next Chancellor of UP Diliman, or any Chancellor of a constituent unit for that matter, to be working, engaging constructively with our UP system administration. Una sa lahat, kailangan alamin natin from our various sectors, students, staff, faculty at the community, ano nga ba yung mga hinaing natin sa mga naging dating ginawa o polisiya ng UP system. Sa ngayon naman ay ako'y nakakatrabaho ko na yung current UP President and his administration at nakikita ko naman na makikinig talaga sila. So I think we just have to consolidate our complaints or our issues and then pahatid natin to sa kanila. Ako naman ay naniniwala na gagawan to ng paraan ng parehong sides.